So I'm not going to let him start this one. He's going to be all pleasant. Welcome to the video.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Oh, I better be.
Right.
I better be.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Lee. Welcome to the channel. I hope you have... Wait.
See this calmness?
Pause.
See this calmness?
Because I'm an editor. We need a pause. We need a pause to get it in.
No, you're doing this one take. One take.
Okay, fine.
Go on.
Hi, I'm Lee. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm a short, overweight, middle-aged white dude. I've got thinning brown hair, black glasses, I'm wearing a blue t-shirt with my logo on it, and I'm pissed.
Just a side note, you can get Lee's merch in his store. There'll be a link below because he doesn't advertise it himself.
Notacarguy.io.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm... It's early. We were up at 5. But we are driving from Sydney back to Melbourne after a lovely couple of days working in Sydney. And we thought, right, we get up really early. We get here, we're now in Goulburn. And as we arrived, there was a very fancy...
EQS 450.
Very fancy.
$250,000.
Long as a boat, though. That's
very long. Very long.
So it was charged in the one working ultra-fast charger. Now, thankfully... we were able to plug into the 50 kilowatt charger, so at least we could get something while we went and got Simon some coffee and some breakfast. But there are 2 fast chargers here, and only one is working. And the EQS stayed on that fast charger until it had 97% and was charging at a wonderful 24 kilowatts when the guy finally turned up to pick up and leave. Also, he not a smile, not a nothing. I'm normally a very calm...
I want to interject there. Mm-hmm. The car didn't have plates. It had a dealer paper inside the window, so he just picked it up. He literally just picked it up. That was a single drive dealership.
And didn't seem happy about it. Anyway.
But maybe he's new. He doesn't understand.
He should like and subscribe to the channel.
But here's my question. Does he need to?
Well, it makes it better for all of us. Here's the thing. He may have been wasting his time charging it past 80%. Like if he's headed to Sydney... he doesn't need to go past 80%. He can easily get from here to Sydney with even less than 80%.
But my argument is, he doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to. That's fine.
So I think you're...
he was parked in the disabled spot.
Forget that. The parking here is stupid. The spot for the charger has still got a disabled blue thingy painted in it. I don't think that's relevant. What I think is relevant is that you got grumpy because he charged past 80%, but we don't know his circumstances.
I don't care about his circumstances.
Well, you have to.
Why? You don't care about my circumstances.
No, I don't, but I have to sit in the damn car with you. Like, I get it, it's frustrating, but it all comes back to what I was saying on the way up, which you'll probably edit out because you don't like my take on it. If Australia wants more EV adoption, it needs to work on its charging infrastructure. We get here, there's 3 chargers. One is slow, 2 are fast. One of the fast doesn't work at all. Been reported. What does that even mean?
Yeah. Well, if you want to know what it means, you should watch my interview with the marketing gentleman, lovely gentleman from ChargeFox, and he explains it. And
while I appreciate what the ChargeFox marketing gentleman said, he is a marketing gentleman. I know because I am one, and we spin.
So what you're saying is don't believe anything you say.
In your words. So it's frustrating, but you can't be frustrated with these people. I mean...
I think I'm frustrated because it's 7:30 on a Saturday and I just, I want to get home.
Yeah. You should have had some breakfast.
And I appreciate that. I'm also frustrated because...
I'm not sure you do appreciate it.
No, but...
Hear me out.
No, but here's the thing. The reason why I'm extra frustrated... it's funny. I always say this to myself.
It better be funny.
Well, it's interesting funny, not ha-ha funny.
Right.
What I find quite interesting is that...
that bit made me laugh. Go on.
I say this to my son quite often, that I always... stay with us, we're going to go all over the place. I often say to him that I remember when I was about... whatever age I was having a shouting match with my mother about something, I don't even remember what. And I had this moment of clarity where I realised... I sort of have this thing of like, why am I getting so angry? And I realized I was getting so angry because I realized she was right and I was wrong. And I was getting more angry because I didn't want to admit that I was wrong. Mm. And here's why I'm angry about this is...
because I'm right.
Well, in a way you are.
It doesn't happen very often. Just let me have the win.
But see, that's the thing. Is that
it's difficult though. I agree.
Like I'm a huge advocate, evangelist for electric cars and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this just isn't good enough.
No, you want it to work. And I see that in all of, like, every time we have a conversation about charging or about infrastructure or about, range, blah, blah, I see you wanting to be the positive spin marketing guy for EVs. And that's not a bad thing because you do have a good experience, but you do have a Tesla and the charging network is much better.
Yeah, if you got a Tesla, this isn't an issue at all.
You have solar, you have battery, you have a driveway, where a lot of people, like my neighbor that we were talking about, thinking of getting himself a Tesla, doesn't have a driveway, doesn't have a lot of time on his hands to go sit at a public charger. So the infrastructure, I mean, it, like it or not,
Yeah,
we're not there.
And it's well, again, this is more about. There were some issues there that aren't about long drives, but like the infrastructure mainly, the issues is when you're doing long drives.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like if you're driving between city to, if it's everyday driving, it's not an issue unless you live in an apartment block or you don't have
Right.
off-street parking or something like that. The thing is, there are tons and tons of people who could get electric cars, who aren't getting electric cars at the moment, who do have a driveway, who do have a garage, who do have solar, who think it's too expensive, who maybe if they've looked in the last year or two, you'd realize that they're still not cheap enough.
It's still a lot though. 60 grand is still a lot for a lot of people.
You can get an Aura for 35.
35 is a lot for a lot of people.
It is. And that's, but
You can get a Toyota Corolla for 18.
absolutely. But there's lots of people who
I
are
don't know where you get a Toyota Corolla for 18, probably from a weird guy in a back alley, but let's not go there.
But there's lots of people who are buying 30,000, 40,
And up,
yeah,
yeah.
$40,000 cars and up who are getting petrol cars,
Yeah.
who could easily get electric cars, and if they just experienced an electric car, they'd be like, this is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
About the apartments, I was telling you the other
Let's
day.
not talk about that security guy from yesterday.
No, let's not talk about. Well, we didn't see him, and
We
he
didn't
didn't
see
see
him
us.
and he
Yeah,
didn't
of
say
course.
us, that's right.
But so while we were in Sydney, we were staying in like Rosebery, Zetland area, and we were in an Airbnb in an apartment. And just up like 3 minutes up the road, there's it's East Village, I think it's called. Actually, a pretty cool setup.
Great area.
Like every shopping centre, if they had this setup, it'd be pretty good. So on the first
Well,
level,
they need 4 times as many charges.
Yeah.
But that's to come.
but most places don't have any.
No.
So on the top level of the parking lot, they've got actually exactly the same setup as this, where they've got 2 ultra fast chargers and 1 slow one, or 2 slow ones and 1 ultra fast. I can't remember which, but they've
One of
got
those,
that.
yeah.
So they've got the paid ones, and then on level 2, they've got 2 slow AC chargers with 2 ports each, so 4 ports. But of course, one of them's broken, so they've only got 2. 11 kilowatt chargers, and then they've got 3 or 4 Tesla ones. So like you could have 3 or 4 Teslas parked, and then you could have another few parked like downstairs.
Oh, yeah, people were running the cable over the edge onto the next level,
But that's
which
good.
was great.
And that's but I think what's happened there, because I mean you can't fit.
No, you just can't
Like
fit.
you can charge 5. You could charge 5 cars, 7 cars if all of them were working at the same time.
Correct.
But there's only 3 parking spots.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's because that's where the cable went, and they didn't want to stretch the cable longer to put the charging points
Sure.
sort of further along. But so I was.
That was a great setup, though.
It was a great setup.
We could go there. I mean, see, that was convenient for us because we didn't have time pressure. We could go there, we could plug in, go get a lunch, go for a wander around, come back, get the car, head off. Whereas I think about my neighbour, he doesn't have, like he's always working. But I'm just thinking of him in this situation and a lot of other people in this. They don't want to have to leave their house to go to a supermarket or a shopping centre, plug in.
And that's fair enough. Well, interesting. So I thought of your neighbour because I was chatting to a nice gentleman. This is majority of EV drivers are really nice and friendly people. Like, so for example, when
Hands smell like coffee. Anyway, sorry.
but you
I
spilled
spilt it
coffee all
everywhere
over yourself.
on my jacket.
So can't take you anywhere.
No, I know.
So when I got there yesterday, because I go for a walk every morning, so I thought, I'll drive. I'll check if the spots are free, and one was free, and I drove there, and anyway. So I get there, and there was a Tesla plugged into one of the non-Tesla chargers, and it was the only spot, and there was a Tesla one free. So I sort of drove in, I just sort of went, hello, would you mind unplugging your Tesla and just moving to the Tesla one so I can take the non-Tesla one? He was like, yeah, sure, no worries.
But why did he do that in the first place?
Not even thinking.
Why did that guy plug into here and stay plugged in until 98%?
Lack of education. This is why I started the channel. Like, if more people know about it,
Yeah.
we can help each other out.
You know what we should have done while he wasn't in his car? Put one of your stickers on his windscreen.
Oh,
Absolute Oh.
yeah. And you, dear viewers, can purchase those. Actually, I think I've got the stickers on the merch thing. Have I?
I've got a sticker in my bag, and I didn't pay for it.
Yeah.
But you will.
Anywho, so I had a really nice chat to him, and particularly because he lives in an apartment. He's had his Model 3 since 2021, so he's had it for 3 years. And I was saying, like, what's it like for charging? And what he said, which I thought it was brilliant, he said it can be a little bit inconvenient, but he said it's like if you work he said he works 9 to 5. He said he doesn't need to charge the car that often because he actually uses public transport to get into the city and whatnot for work. But he said it's like going to the gym. Like, if you work 9 to 5, but you still want to go to the gym, you do need to make time to go to the gym. Which, ironically, as he was saying that, there's a gym in that complex, and a woman came down from the gym, unplugged her Model Y, and drove away. Which, like,
It was like an ad was happening in front of you.
it was amazing. I would love it if gyms started installing like a row of AC 7 kilowatt chargers. I mean, I'm sure gyms charge so much anyway that they could just add that into the price sort of thing. And with your gym membership, with your gym card, you could tap and start your charge, and
Now, I know you were thinking about that because we did touch on that when we spoke about it yesterday. But I've been thinking about that since. Thinking about the gym that my neighbour goes to. There's no parking there. It's on street.
Okay, well okay, no, fair enough. That's a challenge. You chat to the camera because I'm going to unplug us.
Are you going to get out of the car? So I can have my little moment?
Yeah, you can have your little moment.
Go on.
Well, okay.
What are you going to unplug for? It's only at 93.
Yeah, but
There's no one else here.
but we're wasting our time. Like, we're charging only 33 kilowatts.
I know, that's ridiculous.
We may as well unplug, get going. This is the thing. If you're not familiar with electric car road trips, which...
That's why I led us down this path, so you could explain this.
Yeah, watch some of my other videos. Interesting point, Mandy said, stop explaining it in every video because you've explained it so many. Just follow a link to some of my other road trip videos. But very quickly, the way batteries charge is from like 10 to 80%. They charge really quickly. From 80% to 100%, they charge really slowly. So once your car gets to 80, like you could get from 10 to 80 in like 10 to 20 minutes, whereas on a ultra fast charger, whereas 80 to 100% is going to take another 20 to 30 minutes.
I heard it described a really interesting way, and I don't know whether...
Filling a bucket of water?
No. Herding sheep into a paddock. So when you...
I'll leave you to explain while I unplug.
Yeah, this will be good. So I grew up on a farm. So when you have 100 sheep and they have to go into a paddock, right? At the start, they are running through the gate really quickly. There's plenty of space for them to run into. So they charge. As the paddock fills up and the sheep are shuffling around inside the new paddock, the sheep still trying to get in have to slow down because the sheep are all... Just stay with me here. Apparently, and I don't know where I read this or watched it, probably on YouTube because everything on the internet is real. Let's call them electrons, and somebody will correct me in the comments, are trying to order themselves in the battery as more are being forced in. I'm trying to explain
I know,
sheep
but,
here.
But can you sit the way that you would sit while we're driving? Just so I make sure, you're not blocking the screen. You're
all right. So as more electronic sheep, you know what? Forget it. Sheep into a paddock.
The way I heard it explained, which I thought was quite good as well, was it's like you're filling a bucket of water and you can't spill above the limit. So when the bucket's empty, you just pour away. But then as it gets towards the top, you slow down your pouring because otherwise it's going to spill over.
No, it's not about the electrons can't come back out. It's because they're all jumbled and there's more space for them to flow into when the battery's emptier. And then when the battery starts to fill up, they've got to try and fit in. And so the ingress slows down. Can somebody tell us exactly how battery technology works in 14 characters or less?
So I suppose I should mention, we are driving the GV70, which is an interesting vehicle. I want so desperately to like it a lot. And there's plenty to like about it. And there's plenty to be really frustrated about. I think that's a fair comment.
Yeah. What's your biggest pain point?
There's so many. But the overarching biggest pain point for me is the technology. The built-in maps are a little meh. Um,
Don't make me say it.
well, I'll have to beep it out.
No, all I was going to say is that the built-in maps are reminiscent of my $40,000 Kia built-in maps. In fact, they're exactly the same.
Oh, we forgot to check the tire pressure. We forgot to do the tire pressure.
It's too late now.
Yeah, you're right. Hang on, we're not just an hour away from Tuck. Where the hell's it taking us?
Back that way.
No, I know that. Like, it's like in terms of the direction, but I don't know.
Yeah, why has our left rear tyre popped down to 29? I know it's cold and tyres do have lower pressure in the cool. Maybe let's see when that heats up to freeway speed. What's wrong? Where are we going?
I don't know.
You're the
I know.
boss of the map.
Yeah. I just assumed. So we're using a better route planner instead of the built-in map. Well, actually, we'll switch to the built-in map. So this car does have a nice feature where it does do preconditioning. So what that means is, for a car battery to be optimized for charging, like to be at the be able to charge at the best speed,
You've got to heat up the sheep paddock before you can put the sheep in it.
pretty much.
Yeah.
And so if you put a fast charger in the navigation for the car, it knows that it's going to a fast charger, and it'll start either warming up or cooling down the battery, whichever you need, to get the battery to the optimum charge rate. But you have to do that with the car's navigation, not with some other navigation. So the car needs to know that. Now this is going to be interesting. So we are 229 kilometers away from our destination.
Yeah.
We have, according to the car, 274 kilometers of range.
Yeah.
The car was relatively accurate this morning.
It was. I think you said we were going to have 63 kilometers left, and we had about 63 kilometers left.
So I think what's happened, because on the way up, the car was, at least for the beginning of the drive,
weird.
It was
real weird.
I
know, and I was think based on what you said.
Should we tell them what happened first?
No,
Okay.
You've already told them what happened. No, okay, tell them again.
So what happened? So we normally driving from Melbourne to Sydney, you'd stop in your rower to catch the fish, to catch whatever.
I haven't said it once this trip.
But you want to so badly.
No, I'm behaving.
Yeah, you'd stop in your rower, then you stop in Banawatha North, Gundagai, Tarcutta, Goulburn, and then you're in Sydney. We didn't stop in your rower because we stopped a little bit before your rower, because we wanted to set up cameras and all that kind of stuff. So we stopped at a slow, I think it was like a 25 kilowatt charger, just while we set up the cameras and everything, because we didn't, obviously I'm not going to leave the cameras in the car overnight, and we left, it was pitch black, so there's no point in setting up the cameras when we left. So we left that slow charger with everything set up, and we had like about 100 kilometers of
wiggle room.
Like it said, you're going to get there in like 200 kilometers, and we had like 300 kilometers of range according to the car. And as we were driving, that predicted 300 kilometers was dropping and dropping and dropping, and it got to the point where it was, it dropped fast. It was cold, and
but it's cold now. It's colder now than it was then.
Yeah, and we do need to sort out the tire pressure, because the tire pressure is not where it should be. Like, not that far off,
It's
but
fine.
But I'd like to get as much efficiency as possible.
You're not a car guy.
Yeah, but I want to. This is a different kind of. Anyway, stop saying that's not helpful in this situation.
Buy merch.
So basically, we had to
If you
pull
don't
over.
buy Lee's t-shirts, his children can't eat.
I only have the one child, and he doesn't eat much. It's
He's
fine.
only got the one that he tells you about.
And I know what.
And they all wear his t-shirts, and so should you. Get them here. What? That's right. Is that what it,
no, thank you.
I was
Thank
meant
you.
to say that. Sorry, what were you saying?
So, So basically, we had to pull over again at a BP pulse just to top up a little bit, like just to top up like 15% of the battery.
You were having, for the first time I've seen you,
Range anxiety. I'd never have range anxiety,
No.
but I suddenly had a bit of range anxiety because the car was woefully mispredicting how we get there. And yet, the second half of the drive, like pretty much since we left Tarcutta, and then from Banawatha North to Tarcutta, we were kind of okay. And then from Tarcutta to Goulburn, and then from Goulburn to Sydney, it was then pretty accurate.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing the car's system kind of adjusted to, oh, you're doing lots of highway
And I don't
driving.
know
Oh,
how it can do that, because like, how can it do that? But it makes perfect sense that it did.
That it-
Look, it's a press car. It gets driven around in circles all the time, and that's it.
yeah, so it wouldn't be used to, yeah.
Mind you, it does have New South Wales plates.
Well, no, but they actually, they truck them down sometimes.
Really?
From what I know, yeah.
Wow.
Well, the thing is, if you need to get 6 cars somewhere,
Yeah, it's
pay
much
one
more
driver
efficient.
instead of, yeah.
Yeah.
You were asking me what is it that I think could be better about this vehicle.
Yeah.
That is so in one word, the fact that it doesn't have a SIM card leads to a lot of other things. So this car in the US, the GV70 does have a SIM card, which means it gets over-the-air updates.
Yeah.
It means you can access from the app and all that sort of stuff. Whereas in Australia, it doesn't have a SIM card, so you can't get over-the-air updates. If you want to update or change any things in the system, like the maps, for example, you need to take it into Hyundai or wherever and get them to do that. So the maps don't get updated regularly. Any software updates, any improvements, any improvements to efficiency and things like that, that happens when you take the car in for a service or what have you. You can't just do it on your own. And not having app access, I think if you are not used to having app access, it's not something that you're really going to care about, so don't worry about it. But if you are used to having app access, which I am, being able to see how much charge there is in the battery without having to turn the car on is really convenient. Being able to start the air conditioning or the heating before you get to the car, really convenient.
Now, I just want to stop you there, because while you've been prattling on,
I saw you checking.
I'm on the Genesis Australia website, or the Genesis website, but I got to it by Googling Genesis Australia. But I wonder whether this is referencing Genesis US, because I think it's a different experience there.
But also the GV60 in Australia does have a SIM card.
Yeah.
Because, so I checked their website and it does have stuff about connected cars and all that kind of stuff, but it doesn't specify whether the GV70 does or doesn't. I'm pretty sure, I'm fairly decent with tech. I've had to dig through the menus and where the menu should be for the SIM card connection, all that, it's not there. I will email Hyundai and check with them, because it could be that maybe this press card just doesn't have it, or I haven't found it, or it hasn't been activated or something like that, but I'm fairly confident it doesn't have it.
Because it does have all the things you say. Oh, hang on, here we go.
I do feel the need to add that other than that and a few other little quirks, there are a lot of things to like about the car.
There are.
So let's talk about a few things that I like about the car. The comfort. It is very comfortable to drive.
Plush.
It's like driving on a cushion. So suspension, all that kind of stuff, it is very comfortable to drive.
The chairs are good. They're hugging.
Yep.
But they're comfortable. They're firm, but they've got a lot of adjustment. It does that crazy thing when you open the front door and go to get in, it moves the chair back and gives you more room, and
Which
then it moves you back.
I really like, because for my sitting position, I've got to be quite close.
It's because you're a midget.
Technically, I'm not. I'm just short. There's another t-shirt.
Sorry.
Technically, I'm not. I'm just short.
Like and subscribe.
Really nice thing about the chairs. Unfortunately, this is only with the driver chair. It doesn't work with the passenger. Is that anytime you touch any of the controls on the chair, you can see there on the monitor, if Simon leans a bit that way, it shows you what you're touching and what you're going to be adjusting, which is quite cool. It does have massage function, which, but I can live without it, but it's nice to have.
Right.
What else? It's got a heads-up display. I really, really like cars with heads-up displays.
You can see the massager.
Yeah, so the massager for the passenger, it does come up and show you what massage functions, but all the other ones it doesn't.
Right.
Maybe it's a setting that I'm missing in the settings, but yeah. I like the fact that it's got physical dials for the temperature controls.
Yeah, that's good.
Heated ventilated seats, really like that. Heated steering wheel, really like that. I really like, and I'll play some B-roll so you can see, I really like that it's got a little scroll wheel controller, a physical controller for the touchscreen. Really simple reason for that is if I'm in my sitting position, I can't touch the touchscreen. I've got to lean forwards, whereas I've got this. Yeah, ha 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 ha. Very funny. Yes, you're a giant. I get it. But you've got a little scroll sort of thing, which is a button as well, and the top of the scroll is like a trackpad on a laptop.
It's quite fancy.
So you can, like, I can go in and bring up the menus and control it from the control without having to actually go into and touch the touchscreen. So that I really like. The safety functions are great. Rear traffic alert.
It's got airbags everywhere.
It's got airbags everywhere. The rear traffic alert is nice. It's got parking alert. So when you try, like, if you've parked on a street and there's a car driving past, when you're trying to get out of the car, it'll go like.
It does that for the passenger seat as well.
Does it for passenger seat as
if
well.
If you've got kids in the back, that's a real handy one.
The
This
plan.
is no longer viable.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Well, tap on alternatives and see what.
Oh, maybe it's talking about the
Final destination.
The charger here is there's something wrong there.
Ah. Just tap start and see what it says.
So if you were a new EV driver and
Yeah, this is. Yeah, I know.
first drive,
It-
I mean, I get it. It is in its infancy. Effectively, its infancy,
yeah.
and it needs a lot more.
So, what else do we like about the car? I don't like or dislike this. It's just something to note. They do this. I think it looks quite cool. This cool sort of 3D effect with the dash,
Oh yeah,
where it's almost like two layers of glass, sort of like on top of each other, and some things are, projected onto the back glass, some projected on the 3 glass. So it creates like this 3D effect of the dash. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's cool. But I don't sort of have a feeling either way. I could live without it if it wasn't there. But yeah, heads-up display, I think, is fantastic. Other safety functions, you get the blind spot mirror in the dash. It's really nice.
that's nice.
With the heads-up display and in the dash as well, you get blind spot warning. So you get a little red, little flashy thing if someone's in your blind spot.
From memory, the GV60 has those mini mirrors.
Yeah, so the GV60's got the camera mirrors.
Yeah.
This has got normal mirrors.
Yeah.
I, again, am neutral on that.
Aerodynamically.
I wonder how much really
Yeah.
that helps. Like, surely it's not. I mean, it helps, but I don't know if it helps that much. Yeah, I think there is 27-minute faster route. Okay, tap show. Just say start. Let's see what that does.
I don't even know.
Technology. See, this is the challenge sometimes with relying on technology. Well, at all. Adaptive cruise control, really like. Lane keep assist,
Hit and miss.
hit and miss. It's there, but it's the best word I think I can use to describe it is wobbly.
Yeah.
Like, it's not.
You don't. Oh yeah, it's on now.
Yeah, I prefer a lane keep assist that keeps you in the lane. I feel that this allows me to move around a little bit too much within the lane. I'd prefer it if it just goes, no, this is where you're going and I'm going to keep you there. And if it goes around a big bend, steer is all I'm going to say on that.
Well, you always need to be in control of your car at all times.
Absolutely. No, you do always have to be in control, but I've driven other cars where,
Oh man, my Kia.
yeah, it turning the wheel on a bend, it, like, you can feel the wheel turning a lot more than this is almost just a little bit too gentle.
Surely the tech in the Kia is the same as the tech in this.
One
why-
would wonder.
Yeah, why does one go off the road when the other one doesn't go off the road?
Well, I just had a thought. Maybe it's because of a setting that I've done where I've told it to have smoother steering or softer steering or harder steering. So
right.
maybe that is something that you can change in the settings. If there are GV70 drivers out there, push the home button. Yeah, and then that way. Yeah, settings. Oh no, you went too far. Yeah, there you go. Also, for filming, having that control is nice because my hand's not in the way of the screen when I'm showing you stuff.
Yeah.
So drive mode.
Let's have a look in drive assist. Lane safety. keeps the vehicle centered on the road. That's correct. Warning only, no or off.
But that's more
No,
if you're going out of your lane. That's not lane keep assist.
Yeah, but isn't that what it's?
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing effectively. Ah, really cool feature that I like about this car is it's got a way that you can. So on the remote, there's like a forward and a backwards button, where if you've been parked in, or if you need to get into the car into a particular tight spot, like so for example this morning when we wanted to pack the car, we were in an underground parking lot, there's a pillar on one side, car on the other side, you can just push a button on, you lock the car, hold down the hold button, a red light will come on the dash, and then you just use the back button, you can move the car backwards or forwards in or out of your parking spot without getting in or out of the car.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That is really useful.
I wonder if it does have anything to do with that steering comfort or sport.
No, put it into sport. Let's see what.
No,
No, that's just for the steering. That's not for.
that's comfort and that's sport. Okay, so it can
Wings.
stiffen up its suspension as well if it needs to. Motor mode. Oh, no, go in there. I want to see what that's got to offer. Eco. Why are we in eco?
We are in eco.
It says we're in comfort.
Maybe that's. Well, it says eco down there on the dash.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I think that's for. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's for like all the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, and you can use this to.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, you can use that within Apple CarPlay. Wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, not wireless. Yeah. So okay. So there you go. I was.
Not paying attention.
Yes. No. That was my bad, and it warned me that I was going out of the lane, but it didn't keep me in the lane.
Yeah. it's
Which
interesting.
other cars that I've driven, it would have just kept me in the lane. So I don't know if there's a setting that I'm missing, but
All those settings look like they're on.
yeah, I don't know. So you've got this sort of side thing in the dash, which you can see various different things, and you can turn that off and on. I like having it on because it's a nice big screen.
Yeah, it's handy.
So you can have plenty of stuff on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my moan and gripes about this, and this is more in all Kia and Hyundai's Genesis cars, with the one pedal driving, so regenerative braking. When you turn the car on and put it into gear, by default it goes into level 3. And level 3 is almost one pedal driving, but it's still, the car still rolls a little bit. Because you can set it with the pedals on the steering wheel. So on the right hand side, you turn it all off. On the left hand side, you turn it on. And you can go full non-one pedal driving, so the car drives like a standard automatic. You can also set it to auto, where the car will adjust the level of regenerative braking depending on the cars in front of you, so like adaptive cruise. And then you can set it all the way to iPedal, which is like level 4, and that's full one pedal driving. Here's the thing, if I set the car to full one pedal driving and change gears, if I need to put the car in reverse, I'm doing a 3-point turn or whatever, when I put the car back into drive, it reverts to level 3. It doesn't revert back to iPedal, which is...
So when I got in the car, when
Yeah.
I drove it,
Yeah.
that wouldn't have been iPedal, would it?
No,
That
it
was
would have been
just
level 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was okay.
But for those of us who really like one pedal driving and would like it on all the time,
Yeah.
it doesn't save it. Forget what the setting is. I think in a car, if you've set the car to perform in a particular way, it should maintain that way until you tell it otherwise. Because let's say, for example, I get in the car and I think there's one pedal driving, I turn the car on and it rolls forward. I wasn't expecting it to roll forward.
I think that should be based on your profile, like whoever starts the car. Yeah.
Yeah, but still, it doesn't do that.
No.
By the way, for the profile stuff, you can set up a profile, you can set up multiple profiles, you can set up a password for the profile, and there's a fingerprint scanner, so you can put in your fingerprint instead of having to put in your password for the profile.
It steals your personal data and shares it with the internet.
No, the thing is, for your this is the thing that confuses me is the profile. Like, if you've got the app, yes, then you can change your profile photo and that kind of stuff through the app.
Right.
But like just on the car without the app stuff, the profile is pretty much just. I don't even know. Let's have a quick jump into the
Yeah,
profile.
how about you let me do it?
Yeah, you do it. So jump into the profiles. I think it's in here. Yeah, user profile.
Oh yeah, okay.
So it's driver name, password, fingerprint.
Profile lock, profile image, delete profile.
So there's not really a lot that the profile saves.
Yeah, right.
It's like your seating positions.
Yeah.
So I don't Oh, they're not. They're stealing my personal seating positions. Like, it's not. That's the built-in nav, by the way.
Oh,
which,
yeah,
which,
right.
when we're about an hour out, I might switch
Swap
to
it
that.
out.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
it can precondition.
I don't mind I quite like this actually.
Yeah.
Being down here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can almost one pedal drive in the Kia when there's another car in front of me. Adaptive cruise control, like it'll stop at the lights, it'll start
Oh,
again
that's nice.
and do all of that. And I can also put, I can use auto hold,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't need to touch the brakes. When I've stopped, it just stops and holds until I press the accelerator again.
Right.
But it doesn't stop on its own at red lights. Obviously, when you take your foot off the accelerator, it'll slow down, but it won't stop.
Yeah, and this does have the setting where if the car in front of you, if you stop at set of lights and the car in front of you goes, it'll beep beep, hey go. But I don't think it does it with red lights. It's just if the car in front of you. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah, windmills.
I was talking about the GoPro still running.
Well, yeah. Well, hopefully it's getting the windmills. Right. Well, I think that's enough prattling on.
No, let's paddle some more.
Let's prattle some more. Well, we can prattle some more, but not on camera. We will catch you up hopefully in about an hour and 50 minutes. No, about an hour and 50 minutes.
Buy merch. Got it?
We have just left Tarcutta.
Nice.
I got it right. Excellent. And yeah, so when we got there, there were two cars already sitting there parked charging. There was an Atto 3 and a Kona. Interesting. Both people doing their first long drives in their EVs, and they were very happy and had a lovely chat.
Yeah.
Although I did have, because we got there and the Kona was like already on 87% and was charging, like, you know, the charge rate was down to like 30 kilowatts or something.
You freaked out, didn't you?
I didn't freak out, but I was just like, Simon, stop talking, because when they got there, they said, oh, we better go and let you charge. And Simon kept talking to them, and I wanted to do the whole, Simon, stop talking to them so they can go and we can charge. But it's fine.
It's all already going to take us all day. What's a few more minutes to be polite, man? Yeah.
No,
you know?
you're right.
It's interesting. You'd never stop at well, I would. But you'd never stop at a service station and just talk to someone, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we just had a 20-minute chat.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, it was great.
And so because we were navigating to the charger, the car did start preconditioning about half an hour before we got there. I think I've worked out that there's a little orange sort of battery thing that shows up that shows when the car is preconditioning.
Yeah.
On the dash, and so, but that's why I was a little bit frustrated, because I wanted to arrive at the charging station and plug in while the car had preconditioned, because I think
But we didn't last time either.
Exactly. I want to get somewhere as we've supposed to be gotten there, so the car is at optimum conditioning.
Yeah,
so
no, but last time we did get there, like, it stopped preconditioning before we'd even turned off the highway.
I know.
That's weird.
Yeah, well, but maybe it's reached that temperature and it figures, oh, I'm going to sort of be at this temperature for a while, so I should be okay.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, but we ended up chatting for about 10-15 minutes before we plugged in. So, but even with that, when we plugged in, we were getting about 196 kilowatts.
She was still humming along.
Which is nice. I still want to crack 200. So we are now.
It really didn't take us long to get from whatever we were down at 60 or something, or less. No, we were down
in the 20s.
We were down, and it was like, it took no time to get up to 93.
Yeah.
Or whatever we were at.
Or I think we were 87.
87
or whatever when we left. So we're up to 85, 87, whatever. A better route planner was telling us to go to the superchargers in Albury. Got it right this time.
Not Albany.
I keep calling it Albany for some reason, like Albany in New York.
Or Western Australia.
Or Western Australia. But I've been to the one in New York. I haven't been to the one in Western Australia. For some reason, it wants to go to Albury. Now, the superchargers there would be. Yeah, that was a pothole and a half.
That was a small lake. Quick, snap, send, solve.
So because the superchargers in Albury, we're guaranteed we would get one because there's 15 chargers there.
Yeah.
I think they're version 4, so they're 250 kilowatts, so we'd get pretty much as much speed as we could out of it. But it's a good, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe even 5 kilometers north of the Banawatha ones. The car was a better route planner was predicting we'd get there with 42%.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's like we actually want to get the battery a bit lower so we can charge more and sort of.
Banawatha's, what are they, 350s?
There's 2 350s and 150 there.
Okay.
And when I looked just as we were driving away, someone had just plugged into one of the 350s.
Well, it's going to take us, what?
2 hours, yeah.
An hour and a quarter.
An hour and a quarter to get there. So whatever the situation is there now, it doesn't matter.
No.
But both the 350s are working, so that's important. And yeah.
Charging infrastructure.
Yeah. Oh, we did stop for a little bit along the way in Gundagai. We've never actually been into Gundagai itself.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, because there was a sign that said the best coffee between Melbourne and Sydney.
Now, coffee report. The coffee was actually very good, but it was a cappuccino, not a flat white.
Too frothy for you.
Too frothy for me. But the gentleman has a 3-group slayer, and they seem very serious about their coffee. They were also very serious people.
Yeah.
I tried to compliment, like you see a bloke with a nice Slayer coffee machine and you compliment him on it.
Try and engage in
he's
conversation.
Like, yeah, that's right, I've got a Slayer. But he didn't. He made some gruff noise and then started talking to his chef.
I think he was having a day.
The woman at the cashier was also having a day. She was like,
okay, maybe that's just their manner.
Maybe that's just. But the tart was very good.
Yeah, so we each got it was a caramelized onion, thyme, and feta tart.
Oh, it's good.
Oh, they were. Also, the nicest.
Sorry. What was that?
The nicest smelling public bathroom I've ever used.
Yeah.
It was like, it was like rose. I don't know. It smelled really nice. And I was very glad to have stopped there and used it.
I can still smell the soap on my hands.
Yeah, I was very glad to stop and use there.
I can still smell coffee on this hand. Thanks, McDonald's, wherever the hell that was.
Try to finish a sentence here.
What?
It was nice to use the very nice smelling bathroom because the bathrooms in Tarcutta.
Oh, not good.
They're better than they used to be.
They are.
They're a lot better than they used to be.
Last year was traumatic.
Yeah.
I remember you coming out of there and going, do not go in there. And I didn't.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So we've got an hour and a quarter or however much time to go to get to where we're going.
I'm driving now, so we'll get there in one piece. We won't have to turn left 3 times anywhere. Actually, for the next hour and a quarter, we can't call your channel not a YouTube, not a car guy.
Sometimes it is.
Yeah, true. Not a spoken word guy. Anyway, quick, turn it off.
Did you have a point?
Yeah, I did. Buy merch.
My sales manager over here.
That's right.
So we'll
sell.
See it a bit. Actually, I'd like to, before we go, let's get your review of the driving experience of the Genesis GV70.
It's nice. It's comfortable. I'm uncomfortable at the moment because you've got so many snacks behind this.
Move them.
I can't move the seat.
There, move the seat back.
That button. And down a bit. Yeah, that's better. It's very comfortable. It feels very sturdy on the road. I know this has a soft and a hard suspension setting. We're currently on the soft suspension setting, so it's a bit, it is literally a 2.5 ton boat. But for a 2.5 ton boat, it's nimble. I'm not sure of the exact curb weight, but it's fast. It's got suspension to match, and it's also got 2 motor modes. I don't know all the modes, the terrain, the drive. You can change between constant or all-wheel drive, I guess. Not 4-wheel drive, because that's not a 4-wheel drive, but it's got all-wheel drive. It's 2 motors. It feels very sure-footed, but the lane keep assist compared to my another brand car that has the same company's lane keep assist doesn't work as well. But I'm guessing that's just little idiosyncrasy between cars. It can probably be adjusted. It's not as attentive as mine. I like it. Everything's within reach. I like that my hand sits. See, I just went out of the lane and I didn't even try it. The controls, like you said, I really like this control dial thing. My hand sits on it and I can do everything I need from right here. Yeah, so it's quite good. My pillars aren't too much in the way of my view. The mirrors are easily accessible, and they've also got this, I don't know if you can see on that camera there.
Call me a pillar.
Yeah, pillock. The little front windows remind me of Dad's old XW Falcon U. Had the flappy open window thingamajiggers, and that's got little windows at the front, so you can see off your quarter panels, which is kind of nice if you're into that. But yeah, aside from that, I mean, where the hell are you going?
What the?
Oh no, they're in the roadside, not on the middle of the road.
She was still running across the road.
No, she was running across a car park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, depth perception. Okay.
There was, there's a couple of things that are slightly weird. Sometimes when you press the EV start-stop button and go to get out of the car, you don't know whether you've turned it off or not, and then you get out and then it says the key's still not in the car, and then blah, blah, blah. Interesting. My and other brand car does exactly the same thing, drives me nuts. But aside from that, it's pretty darn good. I like the heads up. It's got a good amount of information on it. And one thing we haven't looked at is the front, which apparently can hold a small cup of coffee.
Very small, like one of those,
Like an espresso?
like a Turkish coffee. And you'd have to lie it down.
That doesn't work so good.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, good.
Yeah. So that's Simon's look at the car.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. We'll see if we can. Maybe if there's an opportunity to take a turn or somewhere, we'll check the boost mode. Or you know what, we don't even need to check the boost mode because we've got so much gear in the car.
It's not fair on the car. Like,
yeah, it's not a fair.
It is, even like we took off once from the lights, or whenever we did that.
Yeah.
With the gear in the car, and it is like, for something this heavy, it's like physics defying. It's bizarre. You're just sort of like, why do you go that fast? Anyway, nice.
Yeah. We'll pick up when we're in Bannermouth North.
What was Ross's partner's name?
I didn't get it.
We skipped that.
No.
Ross and partner with the two lovely dogs. G'day.
G'day.
Safe trip back to Shep.
Yeah, it was lovely meeting you and lovely chatting. Sorry if I was a bit grumpy, but I'm a bit grumpy.
No.
I know.
Yeah.
Who'd believe it, right?
I know.
But
On the road again. So Lee, tell me, Lee, tell me about the last charging stop that we just encountered there in Barnawatha.
So we get there, everything. Can you hang on? Can you see that bit of lint on the? Thank you. So we get there,
I
and
had a lens cloth in my mouth.
we plug in. Everything seems, and it says preparing to charge, and I had a bit of an inclination that something wasn't quite right because it kept saying preparing to charge.
But alas, dear listener, it was not preparing to charge.
Well, it was preparing, it just wasn't charging.
No.
And so
Damn it.
we went to the bathroom. I thought, okay, give it time to think about what it's doing. Went to the bathroom, came back, and it was still preparing to charge. So cancel that, move to the next one, same thing, preparing to charge, nothing happening. There was a Model Y there, lovely couple, Ross, and I'm afraid we didn't get his partner's name, but lovely couple. So we're chatting to them, and they said, yeah, earlier on apparently there was a power failure, and so the whole place had no power earlier on, like they couldn't even pump petrol at the petrol station, and one of the chargers was working, the other one wasn't. They got ChargeFox to restart it, blah blah blah. I get on the phone with ChargeFox, very nice lady, helps out, tries to get it to work. Eventually she says, yeah, no, look, I'll reboot it and hopefully that'll work, and if it doesn't, give me a call back. It should take about 5 to 10 minutes to reboot. Didn't take more than 5 minutes to reboot. I will say that the the interface for it rebooting is a bit rubbish because it reboots like you see all the all the
You see all this.
yeah all the technical stuff, and then it says out of order. Now it's not, and the app says out of order. So the thing is, it's not out of order. It's just rebooting. But if I was not a patient person, which I'm clearly a very patient person today, if I was an impatient person, I would see out of order and I go, right, that's stuffed. It's not going to work. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But I am a patient person. Not so much today. But so I said, no, well, hang on, let's give it like 2 or 3 minutes and let's just see if it sort of comes right. And it came right. We plugged in. We were getting 199 kilowatts. Almost cracked 200.
Almost 200.
And we got like to 80% in 7 minutes.
Yeah,
so,
it was wild.
So it was worth
The wait.
it was worth the wait.
Well, the alternative was to drive back to Albury.
Well, 17 minutes to Albury, which gives us the 250 kilowatts Tesla superchargers, or go the other way and stop at BP in Glenrowan, but those are only 75 kilowatt chargers.
For the 6 of you that just said, oh, but you're not in a Tesla, why would you go to the superchargers? The Albury Tesla superchargers are unlocked for use by other things.
Yes, not for non-Teslas.
Yeah. See, I can be helpful.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Simon, what was your take on the whole fiasco?
Well, yeah. Look, I mean, I've got, the sad thing is, just these couple of road trips we've done, the short one to Albury we went on last year, this from last year, and this one, there's always problems. I expect either a problem with the charger.
No, the Albury one there wasn't because we were in a Tesla.
That's true, actually. That's actually, you're right. That's true. It was quick. On the non-Tesla road trips we've done, which is anything else, I've come to expect problems. And I think that's a bad thing of a system when you expect it to let you down.
Yeah.
And it's almost let us down at every point. And not necessarily the fault of the charge network. In some cases, we had to stand around waiting for charges. That's just a volume thing. I'm sure that'll get better with time. But, like having to call support and spend 10 minutes on the phone and then wait and blah, 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 blah. Like, new adopters.
Yeah, I can absolutely see why if I bought an electric car and this was my first experience, I would be questioning my decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
But you've just got to hope that the good outweighs the bad.
But again, I will stress this a lot. This is if you're doing long road trips.
Yeah.
And how often do most people?
Not a lot of people do.
Most people do
except all the people we've met today. We're on a road trip.
We're on a road trip. That's Oh, how many people are in the hospital? Except for the people in the hospital, not a lot. I mean, that's...
Shut up. Otherwise, don't make me come over there, smart aleck.
I don't think you could reach. Yeah.
So,
basically, if you want to do road trips in Australia, buy a Tesla.
Yeah, for now. For now. I mean, it's definitely a first world problem, but we are in the first world, and it shouldn't be one.
I think it's a lot easier in a Tesla because of the supercharger network. It's not impossible. Look, we got from Melbourne to Sydney, and we're getting from Sydney to Melbourne. You can absolutely do it. It's just not as convenient.
No, and look, fair play. It's after 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, and there was support on the phone. It didn't take that long. Yeah.
But you know what? I think the reason why I'm so grumpy today is because...
You're grumpy because you didn't start the day with a healthy breakfast.
I never start the day with a healthy breakfast.
That's why you're always grumpy.
No, that's fair. That's fair. The reason why I'm grumpy today is because I so want this to work.
Yeah.
And I want this to be a good experience for people. And I'm frustrated because I can't paint this in a positive light.
I tell you, let me spin. I did the last drive from Thingo to the last place before all hell broke loose, and I was driving along and just thinking how ridiculously smooth the ride was. We're on bitumen, but we're on a slab road, like a concrete slab part of the freeway back there, or it's like a slightly different bitumen. It was just, it was dead smooth. And it was so quiet. It was smooth and like nothing I'd ever experienced in a car. It's just bizarre. That's a real positive.
Yeah. So for everyday driving experience,
It's so good. Yeah.
yeah, it's just
I don't know. I mean, the negatives and the positives are.
I think it also has to do with expectations.
Sure.
Because so we were chatting a couple of months ago. There's I won't say who it is, but there's a car manufacturer, non-Tesla, that we might be driving one of their cars from Melbourne to Perth. And with that, I expect there to be challenges.
Yeah, there should be.
I expect
But we expect there will be.
Yeah, I expect there to be challenges. Driving between Melbourne and Sydney, I was, I guess, hoping that there wouldn't be that many challenges anymore.
No, we're not there yet.
No.
Did you see? Did you see those? The guy that I can't remember. I just saw it on Twitter. They just completed their. Like they went. It's pretty much like they went from Adelaide all the way up to Darwin and then back through the middle in a Model Y.
I didn't see that. No.
Hell of a journey.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it now.
Yeah. But again, like with that, you'd expect there to be a couple of challenges along the way. You'd expect to come to some slow charges, things like that. But I mean, Melbourne and Sydney, it's like apparently the air route between Melbourne and Sydney is like the third or fourth busiest air route in the world. A lot of people travelling between Melbourne and Sydney by air, by car, by what have you. This should be, all it needs is 2 or 3 more ultra rapid chargers, like 350 kilowatt chargers, 2 or 3 more locations along the way, so that if the one that you get to is broken, or if the one that you get to is busy, just 1 hour away or 45 minutes away, there's another one. And more.
I think there's
double
more,
the charges at each location.
but there's more that they can do before any of that. Because, I mean, ChargeFox controls the software, but the hardware's on a different person's location. The power grid is probably through a different company for a lot of the different chargers. There needs to be some sort of unified service level agreement between all of the companies that are involved with a charger at a location, so that if a charger is broken, it's fixed within X. Like, I can't imagine BP's Bowsers sit there for 3 days unattended if they break down. They don't.
Well, here's the thing. That wouldn't happen because BP would be losing a ton of money.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think at the moment, again, this is a chicken and egg thing, I think there's not enough people using these chargers. I reckon most of these chargers are operating at a loss.
Probably.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, money makes the world go round.
Yeah. We haven't reached, what's that word I'm looking for that makes me sound smart? When something reaches a...
tipping point?
Not a tipping point.
There's a smarter word for it.
What's the smart word for it?
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
You're smart.
Let him know in the car. I don't read the comments.
Probably wise.
Yeah. Is that you? So you don't like the stitching?
It's not that I don't like it. I just don't get that excited about it.
Why not?
It's just stitching.
It looks nice.
It does. No, you're right. It does look nice, but I'm not a carpist, so I don't have the knowledge to appreciate why I should appreciate it.
There's no reason to appreciate it. It's just an aesthetic.
Okay. Yeah. Well, nice stitching.
Good. Thanks. Seats are good.
I suppose you know what? I'd notice if it wasn't nice stitching.
You would.
So
it's true.
Yeah. Okay. Nice stitching. Fair enough.
I mean, the build quality in this thing is pretty good, except for this little floppy bit that doesn't shut anymore, but I think that's because it's a press car.
No, it's also because if you took the cable out of the way, it'd shut just fine.
Yeah, I took the cable out the other day.
No, because the cable's pushing on from the inside. Watch. Put that cable back in.
Yeah. All right, let me do it.
Now close it. Ta-da!
Oh. Yeah, as you were. Good space in the It'd be cool if that went all the way up there.
Yeah, but it's because they've got the
Transmission tunnel.
that thing.
Drivetrain. Anyway,
Right. Well, that's my. I'm rented out.
like and subscribe, buy merch, or I'll find you. So we've had this trip has been an interesting one.
It's cursed.
It is cursed, and I think we've been not negative, more about the road trip, definitely more about the road trip than the car. The car's great, it's got a few little squibbles, whatever, but every charger there has been some sort of issue, and that last one just took the proverbial cake, the electric cake.
The last two, actually.
Well,
'cause-
the last two, yeah.
Well, the last 1.5. So
Well, the last one, the one before we already explained.
no. Because we've been to 2 charges now.
Oh yeah,
We were gonna initially stop at Euroa.
you rowed the boat to catch the fish.
Yeah. So
Got it?
we were initially going to stop at Euroa because that's just off the highway. There's 2 350 kilowatt chargers.
Yep.
We go there all the time.
Job done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Charge Fox is good because I get a little bit of a discount because I'm an RACV member. Great. But when I asked Simon to check, like we were 5 minutes out or so, and I asked Simon to check whether they were free
In the app.
in the app.
Yep.
You checked they were free, but you also saw that the 350 kilowatt ones were limited to 50 kilowatts.
Correct. Both
So-
of them.
Yeah, so I thought, stuff that. We'll go another 20 minutes, 30 minutes down the road
Yeah.
to Avenel, where there's 2 EV chargers, which are both 350 kilowatts, so we
Yep.
can charge nice and fast. Let's do that.
Check the app first.
Yes.
We did.
Now, and they were both available.
They were both available.
Now-
I even went to the point of, I checked on Lee's phone because I didn't have the EV app. Then I went and installed the EV app, subscribed, did all that bollocks scramble, went back into the app, checked Avenel chargers, both green, both available. 350 kilowatts, here we come.
But we did end up having to stop at Euroa because the car suddenly came up and said low tire pressure on the back left tire.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, well look, it's there. Let's pull over. We'll check. We checked all the tires. Finally checked the tire pressures, and it was still saying so. It's supposed to be 38.
Whatever. It's fine.
It was 38, but fair enough. Like there was a sign on the air thing saying possibly faulty, so
Yeah.
it could have been that wasn't the case. Even stopped to get Simon a little bit of food, and I was thinking at the time. If
Actually, that was a challenge. I wanted to see if Lee could get through the McDonald's drive-through. Yes, I had McDonald's, whatever. See if Lee could get through the McDonald's drive-through without stressing out, because it is a reasonably large piece of kit. It's an expensive piece of kit, and it's not his piece of kit. Anyway, he did well. Flying
Thank you.
colours. Tick, tick, tick.
But as we were driving towards the drive-through, I was actually thinking, oh, you know what, maybe I know they're only 50 kilowatts, but we're here anyway. Maybe I should suggest we just park here, at least while you get some food.
Right.
And we'll just pick up a little bit, and then we'll get the rest in Avenel.
Right.
Should have done that.
Didn't.
So
we arrive at Avenel to in the app, 2 chargers that are green.
Well,
good to go.
had been 15 or 20 minutes previously.
Yeah, well, that's right. No, not even 15 or 20. 6 minutes previously was the thing
Yep.
on my phone. We arrived there and the screens are off on the chargers. Both screens. And I think, okay, well, we'll use the app. Lee goes to look at the app and it says unavailable. Both of them unavailable.
We call support.
And
Also, the guy kept calling me ma'am. I don't think my voice is that high-pitched.
Yeah.
I know that shouldn't annoy me, but
No,
at this
it does.
stage of the day,
yes,
yes.
I know.
And so yeah, they're both. He said he was going to try and reboot them. Apparently that was doing nothing because I think they're just dead. And
Like literally in the 10 minutes between us
Yeah.
checking the app and getting there.
and the guy said, oh, look, doing what he can. Like he said, can I help you find a charger nearby so you can continue on your journey? I said, no, that's fine. We'll find it ourselves. So unfortunately, there aren't really many fast chargers between here and Melbourne. Melbourne's only like 100 k's away.
Yeah.
Not even. But we only have 69 k's of range. We're on 24%. We're going to a 25 kilowatt charger in Seymour, which is 8 minutes away.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to sit there for a little bit.
Forced dinner.
Yeah, well, look, we're not going to run out of food.
No, we're not.
So,
It's ridiculous. Anyway, just wanted to share that little tidbit of information with you. Have a great day and buy some merch.
I don't even know where to start. So we're in Seymour. There's a 25 kilowatt charger that we've plugged into here. It's painfully slow. I suppose it's painfully slow compared to what we're used to. We're not going to charge, so that gives us, we've now got 98 kilometres of range. So we could just get back into Melbourne. There's actually, I checked a better route planner, and there is an EV fast charger in Pascoe. I think that's a 350 kilowatt. I'll check or what have you, but it
doesn't matter whether you check or not.
You're right, it doesn't matter.
We'll get within 5 minutes of it and it'll go out of service.
You're probably right.
If it does, I'm going to kick it over.
That's fair enough. So a better route plan at the moment. So we've got 33%. If we left with 35%, we'll get to that faster charger with 9%. So
Fine.
we're going to mutter on until we get like 36, 37%, so we can at least sort of...
Chicken.
Although the prediction's been pretty accurate. Like
It has now, yeah.
Yeah, I think the car's obviously, I don't know how, but the car's adjusted to knowing...
It's heard what we've said, and AI has adjusted the computer on the fly.
I highly doubt that.
Yeah. A wise man once said, the A isn't very I.
The A is not very I. So, final thoughts? Yeah.
Well, look, I've said before when you were out of the car in my secret little moments alone.
Cocoon of silence.
Yeah. I said that I was a marketing person, so I went for the positive spin, which was that we wanted this to happen.
Yes, we did this to ourselves on purpose.
Yeah, to show you that things can potentially be slightly disruptive. I think we've had a problem at almost every charger on this leg.
Yeah, and I think this is, to put another positive spin on it, this is, don't get excited, we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, good point.
This is, I think today's been an extreme example.
It has, it really has.
Yeah, it's very rare that you'd have this many problems. I mean, even a year ago when
Look at the blue line.
Yeah, that forklift's got like a blue outline around. Is that just a light or is that like a laser beam?
Yeah, it's got laser beams up the top.
How cool is that?
That sounded electric as well. That was a BYD.
Electric forklift.
Not even kidding. I want to go and drive it. I want to pat the dog. I want to drive the forklift.
We're going to be here. We don't have to go.
We'll be here a while.
You're happy to stay.
Listen, neither of us drink, but this is a wine cellar. We could break in and
get wine for our wives.
There was a coffee machine.
We're not going to do that.
No, we're not going to. Just kidding. Wine.
So it's... I mean, you've seen what has happened today. I suppose you make of it what you would. Look, this, again, I'll go on and on about it. Everyday driving of electric cars is great, is easy. There's absolutely no issues. Long road trips in a non-Tesla can be challenging.
Trying.
Yeah. Well, I hope there's any final thoughts before I do my shtick.
I hope this has been helpful. I hope this has been blah, blah.
I hope this video has been helpful. I hope it's been useful. If you've
any inclination to buy merch, you'll find a link in the description. Sorry, is that what that was?
And otherwise, like and subscribe if you've already subscribed. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll
catch you in the next one.
Safe and happy driving.
Two, one, you're back in the room.
Well, I hope that was helpful. I hope it was useful. Good. Yeah.
Bye, merch.
Like and subscribe. Okay.
Here we are in someone's backyard, plugged in via a 10-watt plug.
No, it's 3-person down the road. We use the extension cord.
Yeah, the first house didn't have power. We literally. Oh goodness.
It's not that bad. So we're in Seymour. How many of you can say you're in Seymour, right? What are you looking at?
How fast we're charging?
24 kilowatts.
Yeah, that's what it says there. But over there, it says
What does it say?
I don't know. I can't even read it.
I'll go and have a look.
No, don't.
No, the exercise will do me good.
8.5.
What?
If Lee keeps it in, you might remember earlier in the day that I said I'm a marketing person. We like to spin things positive. Well, this charging trip has been a trip to show you how bad things can get.
Okay,
So this is an example of what you won't usually experience, but today we have,
Oh no, okay, so that I think that's showing how much we've consumed. So we've gotten
8.6
kilowatt hours into the car.
That tiny girl has a very big dog, and I want to pat it.
Go pet the dog.
It's an Alsatian. It may kill me.
It may not.
It looks beautiful. Look
Most
at it.
Alsatians, I've found Alsatians to be very friendly.
Oh no, it needs some pattings. Is it?
Go
Yeah, it's
pat- go-
going with the lead. Look, it's leading itself.
Stop the camera and go pet the dog.
I'm not going to stop the camera. No.
Well, my
it'd be
back's
weird. We're in a
sore, so I'm
small
gonna-
country town. All right.
I
go on.
thought country people are friendly.
But yeah.
Okay. There you go. I've opened the window. Oh, be free. No, be free. I don't know if we're going to use any of this because,
I don't mind.
geez, we've gone on a bit.
Yeah, that's okay. It'll give you something to work with. Hey, my microphone's in a crap place.
Is your microphone list on? No, it is on.
Bitch. But I can't move it up because you've sticky taped it to the entire inside of
Well,
my
just
whole
loosen the sticky. I moved mine up. Just loosen the sticky tape.
body. I like that in this car. Did you feel that?
Yeah.
When you get to a certain speed, it tightens the seatbelts, but I don't know why, because it tightens it, but then they're loose again.
Well, it reminds you, hey, you're starting to go a bit faster, so you know.
Like, pay attention to your seatbelt.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Let's just make sure that we're going in the right direction. Oh, it actually wants us to go that way. Okie dokie.
Oh, that's quicker to get onto
Yeah,
the freeway
yeah,
than
that
go
makes
through
sense.
town, yeah. Yeah.
It is, okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Let me just get onto the highway and then we can regale our lovely audience with the shit show that this...
Lee, please don't use bad words.
Moist. Sorry, I went too far.
Yeah, you did.